Alright, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make your community college class schedules. And not just your class schedules, but your daily schedules, including your classes. It might also include work, gym, working out, whatever. So how to develop and create your own schedules for community college. And this is a very important topic. This is a very crucial topic because in community college, like I said, the most important thing is to get an A, is to get a 4.0 or aim for a 4.0. And if you want to increase the chances of you doing this, you have to establish a daily routine. You have to establish a steady routine that you have to do every single day. But keep in mind, don't be discouraged by a routine. I don't personally like routines, but when it comes to goals, when it comes to accomplishing goals that you set, a routine is very, very important. So like for example, like if you're trying to lose weight, if you're 500 pounds, which I highly doubt anyone is, but let's say you're 500 pounds and you're trying to lose 50 pounds, you gotta set some kind of routine, dude. You can't be eating the same shit every single day. You gotta set a routine to lose weight, and it's the same thing for community college. If you want to get an A, if you want to do well, you have to set a routine that you're used to and that you're accustomed to, so that your chances of transferring increases. So I'll show you guys what I did when I was in community college and when I was making my own schedules. So go to Google, aka the greatest site of all time, and type in community college schedule builder. Actually, my bad. College schedule builder. That's a typo, but whatever. So it's this one. Free college schedule maker. The first one, if you guys didn't get it, college schedule builder, and it's gonna be the first one right here. So this one I already made. This is the one I'm gonna show you an example of, but here I'll show you the first one that I made. All right, so this is schedule number one. It's just an example. These aren't actual classes, but it's just giving you, I'm just going to show you a brief example on how to structure it and how it's done. So, like I said, community college, the classes are very easy, relatively easy. The topics are straightforward, but just because the class is easy doesn't mean that you're going to get that class. You got to keep that in mind. There's a lot of other students in community college who also wants to transfer. When you go to community college, you may think that you're the only one who's ambitious and who wants to have a second chance of transferring out, but there's 30% other people in your school who's probably thinking the same way. They're not just being vocal about it. So my recommendation for you guys, and also what I did, was I created 3 schedules, just in case, worst scenario, I don't get my first classes, because usually, when you're a freshman, the chances of you getting all the classes that you want it's not low, but it's not high at the same time, because class registration usually goes to these community colleges and just colleges in general. They give upperclassmen priority on registering first, and usually upperclassmen are the ones who have more units. So if you're a freshman at community college at your first semester and you have 0 units, you're not going to go first compared to a second student who is probably there 1 or 2 years with 40 units. The priority is going to go to them. So you have to make a backup schedule just in case you don't get the classes that you want. And I recommend 3. I made 3. Usually, sometimes I got my first my first schedules that I wanted, but typically it was a second schedule that I made, my backup schedule, my schedule B. But But this is just the first example on how to organize and how to create your schedule. So these are just example classes: GE1, GE2, GE3, and then basic English that you guys have to take, which is usually 4 units. For my community college, the max amount of units that I could take a semester was 18, but I actually took 20 or 22. Um, Not my first semester, but I think my second semester and my third semester, because I just wanted to finish everything. So I went to my counselor and I asked for like a upgrade, like a unit upgrade. Um, like if you go to your counselor and you say, "Oh, dude, like I'm trying to, transfer this to this particular school, but I can't finish all my units. Can I take more units, more than the max?" And if they think you're capable, they'll let you do it. And that's what happened to me. So basically, um, this one is just a very simple schedule. It's just a very basic schedule. Let's see how much units these are. So 4, 8, 12, and then 16 units. So 16 is usually the average that people take, like 15 or 16 units, and that's a completely doable schedule. So for me, like I said, I don't remember my exact schedule my first semester because it was just too long ago, but this was basically how I structured my schedule. For my first GE, that was required to transfer to USC, I would split it Monday, Wednesday, a 2 hour class. To get to my community college, my first community college, because I went to two, it take me like 30 minutes. So I'd wake up at like 7 or like 7:30. I'd like shower for like 15, eat 15 minutes, and then just go straight to school. I leave home at like 8:15 or like 8:20. Probably get to campus at like 8:50, and I try to be the first person or like the first 5 people in class, because even though it's kind of a bitch and a hassle to wake up early and go to class early, it's also very good to set a great first impression with the professor. That's very important and very underrated, because you're not there to really make friends with the professor. I mean, it's great, but later on, if you're due applying to private schools, some do ask for a letter of recommendations, and if you make a great first impression, chances of the professor giving you a good letter is pretty good. So you have to keep that in mind. So for my first GE class, it'd be 9 to 11 a.m. And then after class, let's say I finish class at 11, I go straight to home. I'd probably eat or chill. Since this is only a 2 hour gap, sometimes I did go home, or sometimes I just went to the gym. I'd eat at school because there's like a cafeteria place, or I'd just go to like a local restaurant or fast food place nearby. I'd get a quick bite. Maybe I'd chill a little bit on campus or whatever, like get on my phone or on my computer, and then I just go straight to 1 p.m. class. Or I just go home, eat there, maybe take a nap, like a 20-minute nap, and then go back to class. But that I didn't do every time, because obviously I'm not trying to go back home and drive back to school, twice in one day. That just takes a lot of time, effort, and also gas. So for the most part, I just go to the gym, eat a little bit, and then go straight to class. I could shower at the gym, and I bring like a second change of clothes, and then I just go straight to my second class. And this class, usually classes are like an hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours, but I just did 2 hours to be safe. And then after class, I just be done. And from let's say I get home at 3, let's say I get home at 4, just to be safe. From 4 to 12, it's just be free time, and I can do whatever I want. I could do my homework, study for a test. I can go to the gym if I didn't go to the gym in the afternoon or in the morning. I just chill. You can do whatever you want, but like I said, try to be productive with your time. Don't do dumb shit that will prevent you and hinder you from transferring well. It's always good and smart to make good use of your time. So that would just be my Monday. Not a really exciting schedule, but like I said, You're not at community college to have fun. You're at community college to get it all A's so that you can transfer to your dream school. My Tuesday schedule, it typically looked like this, very chill. If I could, I would try to avoid morning classes for me personally because I don't want to wake up at like 7:30. That's hella early for me. Since I don't have anything right here, some days I'd wake up at 11. I'd sleep at like 3 a.m. and then wake up at 11. That's still 8 hours. And then I'd eat a little bit and then go straight to school. Go to school for only 2 hours, one class, and then from 2 to 12, 12 p.m., it'd be completely free. And in this schedule, on the first schedule, I didn't show you guys the extracurriculars that I did, which was working. This one, I'm just going to show you my class schedules. And on the second schedule, I'll show you how I incorporated work with my classes. So Tuesday, Thursday is the same, very chill. Obviously, depending on the semester, it's going to differ on how many classes you take and which times it may be. So, for example, like instead of 9, it may start at 8 or it may start at 12. It all depends. But Monday, Wednesday, exactly the same. And then on a Friday, I remember I took a morning English class. And like I said, I would avoid morning classes, but this teacher was easy as fuck. Like, she was this old grandma person, and she was really chill and really simple. And I read all the reviews about her, how she was really easy and chill. And I trusted the reviews, and when I got into class, it indeed was very easy. So I was willing to sacrifice, my sleep and waking up a little bit earlier, just so that I can get an easy class. And 4 hours may seem like a lot, but you got to keep in mind that this is only once. When you guys are going to class Monday, Wednesday, this is just once on a Friday. And I typically like this kind of style where I can just go to once and just get it over with. Um, and it's on a Friday, like you end school at 2 p.m. on a Thursday, so you have all this time. You can sleep at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Usually, dude, to be honest, for me, when it was like this, like 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on a Thursday and an 8 a.m., I'd sleep at like 2, 3 in the morning, get like 4 hours of sleep, and then go to class. And after class, I'd take a nap for like 3 hours. So I'd like wake up at 3. And then, the rest of my Friday would be free and I can do whatever I want. I can, go to the gym, meet some friends and chill. Or, if I have a test the next week, I'd study for that. But this is just basically the most general schedule that you can make, and something that that will look similar for you guys in your early semesters. So let's look at the second one now. So this is my second schedule that I made. Um, let's assume that this is for my first semester still. So let's say that for the first schedule that I showed you, you guys couldn't get your classes. Let's say they all filled up, or some of the classes weren't available. So you had to scratch it. So that's when schedule 2 comes in, schedule B, your backup schedule. Schedule B, number 2. And it's always good. I mean, it's not always good. It is good to always make a backup plan for whatever you do, because you never know what's going to happen. You always got to plan for worst case scenario. So this one, obviously, it looks a little bit more cluttered because there's more stuff, but the concept is still the same. Let's see how many units these are. So 4, 9 units. What's 9 plus 4? 13 units. And then, hold up, my math is kind of fucked. 13, 17, and then 21. Okay, so this was a schedule that where I had to go to the counselor and ask her, like, hey, can I up my units, because I have to finish all these GEs before I transfer. I just want to get them over with. So I had like a special exception. So for this one, my English would be 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Whereas on the other one, it'd be at Friday. I just flip it. And then, after my 4 hour English class, I'd go straight to work. I usually for these 4 hour classes, you don't stay the full 4 hours because the teachers, dude, you gotta view it from the perspective of the teacher too. Like, you don't want to be there for 4 hours, dude. Most of the times, these teachers don't want to be there either for 4 hours. Like a lot of professors in community college, they're not full time for the most part. I may be wrong, but the professors I had, a lot of them had side jobs as well. They'd be like a professor at a different school, or they may be a writer or an author. Like one of my communications professor, his name is Marcus Thompson, and this dude on the first day of class told us that he was a writer for like some kind of Bay Area sports like newspaper place, and we all thought he was bullshitting. And he was like, "Oh, I gotta leave class early because I have to go to the Warriors game and then watch or interview Steph Curry." And we were like, "Dude, this guy's full of shit." But then, dude, um, I actually followed him on Twitter, and he like linked a video of him interviewing Steph, and that's when I was like, "What the fuck?" Like this dude was just teaching community college on the side, just for like side money or just for fun. So these dudes are not trying to stay here for the full 4 hours. So it'll probably end at like 11 or 11:30. But after my first class, I'd go straight to work. I change. I bring my work clothes. It's just Jamba Juice, so it's like a t-shirt. I go to work for 4 hours, which isn't bad at all. 30-minute break in between. A lot of times it was chill. There wasn't a lot of people. Because this was winter schedule, I believe, and nobody, dude, who's trying to drink a cold ass smoothie on a fucking winter day? Like, not a lot of people. Um, and then after work, I go straight to school again. But this was what do you call it? It's only 3 hours, but it's 5 units because I remember this being another English class, um, or I think this was a science class. I'm not sure, but the more important thing was a lot of the classes, or not a lot, but some of the classes have an additional lab class. So let's say you're taking a science GE, like chemistry. Um, the 4 units will be chemistry, and then the one extra unit, which makes it 5 units, is like an additional lab. So it's like an extra 30 or 1 hour class where you just do lab assignments. And it all depends on what topic it was or what subject. But I remember a 5 unit class in my schedule because of the lab. And then, 6 to 9, I drive to my other community college. And yeah, 3 hour class. So Monday was pretty busy. And usually, even though it looks like a lot, it's good to do this kind of way for me personally because I just like to get things over with. And if I can finish all my hardest classes and just the most work in one day, I'd do it. Because you work really hard on Monday, but then the next day is chill as fuck, right? Tuesday your first class is at 12 and it's only 2 hours. So even though you end work or you end class at 9, and let's say you get home at 10, you can sleep at 2, 3, or 4, which is what I did, and then go to class for 2 hours and then just chill for the rest of the day. Or you don't even have to work here. You can work in the morning on Tuesday or after school on a Tuesday. So you can have a gap here. It all depends on what you want to do. But this is basically the example that I'm showing you guys on what I did personally. And then Wednesday, I'd work in the morning from 8 to 12, a 4 hour shift. I'd rest a little bit, eat, chill, and then I'd go to school 2 to 6 p.m. for my GE number 4. And then, after you can either work again if you want, or, for me personally, I wasn't trying to work. I don't like working in the morning and then working at night. Like I'd go to school twice a day. I'm willing to do that, like on a Monday, but I'm not trying to go to work twice on a separate, shift. That's just not my style at all. But yeah, Wednesday, I take my GE, my GE4 class, for 4 hours, and then the rest of the day would be chill. Thursday is very similar to Tuesday, but the only difference is work. And you can switch this around. You can, put this work 4 to 9 p.m. here on a Tuesday, or you can work both. It all depends. It all depends on what you want to do. But as long as you fulfill all your GEs and you get the grades that you want, you can space out work where however you want, or you don't even have to work if you don't want to. But like I said, it's always good to be productive. Community college is going to be very boring for the most part. So if you can just work, be with coworkers and make some money on the side, why not do that? Just go for it. And then Friday, on my schedule one, Friday was a morning English class from 8 to 12. But I remember taking an online class for psychology. I took a couple of online classes, psychology, history, another psychology class. But this one, I just put it on Friday because, this class, it's still GE and you still get 4 units and it still shows up on your transcript. But, it's scheduled as 2 hours. But if you finish your work in 20 minutes, dude, then that's all you need to do. The Friday is bare. You don't go to school physically. You can do this any day you want. You can do it on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or you can space it out. But usually for online classes, the teacher gives you like a weekly schedule, and a weekly tasks and like what to read and like a quiz. And I didn't like to procrastinate. I procrastinate, but I didn't want to procrastinate for online classes because it was the easiest one. So I just get this over with on a Monday where my schedule is the biggest. I just finish all my hardest and longest tasks and just get that over with. So my Friday was completely bare. And even though I showed you only two, the third one I didn't make, but it's still the same concept. You want to create a backup schedule. You always want to create a backup schedule. At the minimum, you have to make one backup schedule. Schedule A for your main one, schedule B if you don't get your main one, and then schedule C if you don't get your second one. Always make a backup schedule because, like I said, you never know what's going to happen. You can have great confidence that you might get all the professors that you want, but you never know, man. And you always have to prepare for the worst. So yeah, this is just how I structured my schedule when I was at community college. And this is very important, not just for community college, but just general in life. You always want to make a schedule. You always want to plan out the tasks you have to do for the day, because usually if you just start the day without having no plans or having no schedule, you just become really lazy and really unproductive. And to me personally, that's not really a good way to live. You should always try to stay active, stay productive, and making a schedule is the best way to do this.